This spring, I decided I was done buying bags of chicken feed from the store. I set out on a mission to grow enough food to feed our 10 chickens for an entire year, right here on our small homestead. In today's video, I'll show you our chicken garden, what we've planted, how it's growing, what we've harvested so far, and some of the challenges we've run into. If you've ever wondered, can I actually grow enough food to feed my chickens, even in a small space? Stick around for this video. Every month, I was hauling bags of feed home, and I just thought, why am I doing this when I could grow it myself? So this spring, we turned a 20 by 50 foot plot into a chicken garden, specifically designed to grow food that will feed our flock year-round. When we first got chickens, we did what most people do. We bought bags of feed from the store. But over time, I started asking, why? Why am I spending money on feed when I could grow it right here? Why am I giving my chickens processed grains when I grow fresh food for my family? That's when the idea hit me. What if I turned part of our yard into a garden just for the chickens? This 1,000 square foot garden feeds our chickens, and in return, they fertilize the soil, break pest cycles, and keep the ecosystem thriving. We grow a mix of crops: corn, beans, squash, sunflowers, greens, and weeds they love. Think of it like a chicken food forest. We built this simple tunnel system to let the chickens forage without destroying the garden. They get exercise, fresh food, and new ground to scratch every day. No feed store needed. This system saves us money, makes our chickens healthier, and keeps us more self-sufficient. And the best part, it's all happening right here in our small front yard. I started with Anasazi sweet corn. This is a rare variety, hard to find, with multicolored kernels when it dries, but it also tastes great fresh. I started the seeds in trays in April, and by May, we transplanted them out here into 12 closely spaced rows. It's tight spacing. You almost have to squeeze your way through, but this close spacing is how I'm making the most of this small space. Around the same time, I also seeded sunflowers. Sunflower seeds are a fantastic source for chickens. They're high in protein, healthy fats, and even help boost egg quality. I planted 2 rows of sunflowers at one end and 2 more rows at the other end, with the corn sandwiched in the middle. By midsummer, this garden was a wall of sunflowers and corn. Of course, the local birds loved it too, and as soon as I noticed them eating the seeds on the sunflower heads, I started harvesting them, just cutting off the heads in the morning and bringing them inside to dry before they're all eaten and gone.
Daddy, look how full this crate is.
Yeah, that's such a pretty basket.
It's so big.
How many do you think we got?
Like
You've been counting?
100.
100?
Mm-hmm.
The third big crop out here is beans. I planted a unique variety called the 1,500-year-old cave bean, which is reportedly discovered sealed in a pot in New Mexico. These beans climb up both the corn and sunflower stalks. Beans are another great source of protein for chickens, and they're easy to store for the winter. They take about 100 days to mature, so we'll be harvesting them this fall. I'll be cooking these for the chickens along with rice. Never feed raw beans to birds because they can be toxic. I have experimented feeding my chickens rice and beans the last few years, and I created this garden to feed them a more well-rounded diet from foods grown right here. We also grow herbs like parsley and oregano in our green-stalk vertical planters. I dry them and mix them into the beans when I cook. It's a simple way to boost nutrition. Now, let's talk struggles. First, squash. I love the Three Sisters method, but this year my timing was off. The corn shaded out the squash, and I don't think we'll get much from those plants. Next time, I'll plant the squash towards the front of the rows where it'll get more sunlight. Second, morning glory weeds. These morning glories came into our soil years ago with compost that we ordered, and they are relentless. They wrap around the corn and beans and are choking them out. And I've been pulling them out as much as I can, but it's a constant battle, and the root systems grow underground are pretty prolific and hard to get all of them. Also, the corn we chose is a really neat variety and delicious when eaten fresh, but I've realized it's probably not the best variety for a Three Sisters garden. I wish I had planted a true dent corn like Bloody Butcher or Lancaster Shore Crop, which is a variety I planted last year, because the stalks get much, much taller, which will help grow better pole beans. I'm hoping we still get a nice harvest from the beans, but I know it would be much better with a taller corn. In addition to the chicken garden, another project that I've been working on to create another food source, a high protein food source for our chickens, is a black soldier fly larva bin. This is a project that I've always wanted to complete, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Last year I tried to do a very simple version of this, but I think I tried it a little bit too late in the season, and the weather wasn't warm enough to really attract the black soldier flies, and it just never worked out. So this year I did a bit of research into what some other people have tried, and I created a simple bin from an old tote that I was no longer using, and I had some PVC pipes laying around that I used and I cut to create kind of an angled exit for the larva to crawl out of when they start getting to that stage where they want to pupate and turn into a black soldier fly. That is the point where we want to harvest these larvae for the chickens. I created a very simple bin, and so far it's working okay. I basically filled the bin with food scraps, everything that I typically would throw to the chickens, things that we saved, old vegetables and old pieces of meat are actually really great addition to the black soldier fly bin, because the stinkier it is, I've learned, the better success you're going to have in attracting these black soldier flies. Early on, I did have some success in getting some black soldier flies to come out of the ramp and collect them in a little bucket. Not a lot. In order to speed up the process, I actually bought a small container of live black soldier fly larvae to kind of create my own bin from scratch with some actual black soldier fly larvae. And my hope was to contain all of these in one of my greenhouses so that when these flies do hatch, they will be self-contained and be able to keep reproducing and continue to create black soldier fly larvae that I can continue to feed my chickens. And it's been going okay. It's kind of neat, and I can see the potential in a system like this, if you really get it dialed in, to create a really sustainable food source for your chickens. Between the chicken garden, our squash patch on the other side of our property, and the chicken tunnel area where they can forage freely, we're getting closer to being feed store independent. It's not a perfect system yet, but we're learning, and every year we're getting a little bit closer. If you've ever wanted to feed your chickens without the feed store, or turn your yard into something productive, give this a try, and follow along for more videos like this, and check out my upcoming course, The Self-Sufficient Chicken, for a full step-by-step system. If you want to see how we built the chicken tunnel food forest that supplements what I'm growing here, check out this video right here. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow along as we try to grow all our own chicken feed. And please leave a comment below. Let me know what crops you think I should try next year for our flock. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Here, buddy.